Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our novel study Spring 2 book, Incredible Journeys, Discovery, Adventure, Danger, Endurance. Today's chapter is all about Around the World with Nellie Bly. Nellie Bly was a pioneering journalist from Pennsylvania, USA. She was born Elizabeth Cochran in 1864, but when she started working as a journalist, she adopted the pen name Nellie Bly after a famous song of the day. Her writing career began when she read an article in a local newspaper that said women should stay at home rather than go to work. Bly felt this was not acceptable. She wrote such a fierce and thoughtful response to it that the editor of the paper gave her a job. As a journalist, she was dedicated to telling her honest stories and making voices heard. She would go undercover and take on a disguise in order to expose the truth about psychiatric hospitals or factory conditions for women. Not only did this force these places to reform their ways, but it won her fame and acclaim as a great reporter and gave her the opportunity to go on exciting adventures. Bly was only 25 when she set off from New Jersey, USA, and travelled by boat to the UK for her first leg. Like me, she travelled light, wearing a sturdy overcoat to keep out the cold and carrying a small bag with a change of underwear. From Britain, she crossed into France, where she went to meet Jules Verne, the author who inspired her brave adventure. He wished her uh, luck, and off she set to tackle the rest of her expedition. It's hard to imagine in our times of instant communication, but Bly's updates were sent by telegraph and by post, taking weeks to arrive, so her progress was a mystery most of the time. But as soon as news did arrive, the world newspaper would breathlessly make its reports. Its readers were gripped by her journey, and the paper ran the expedition to guess how long Bly would take. Undeterred by the high expectations, she fearlessly crossed Egypt, Italy, Sri Lanka, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Japan. Blythe travelled by rickshaw, railways, bus, horse, and even sampan, which is a small, flat-bottomed Asian boat. When I circumnavigated the Arabian Peninsula, I used lots of different methods of transport too, including donkey, camel, hitchhiking, dhow, and even a tank. I've learned that when you travel the way the locals do, you're forced to slow down and get to meet amazing people. But Bly was the one it was more of a rush. She had an imaginary record to beat. So as you can see here, Bly's most ambitious and treacherous journey was in 1889. Pardon me, when she decided to travel the world for a newspaper report. She wanted to test the fictional challenge in Around the World in 80 Days, a novel by Jules Verne, in which the lead character, Phineas Fogg, circumnavigates the globe in 80 days. From Japan, she boarded another ship to cross the Pacific back to the USA. She arrived in San Francisco to race across the country to get back to New Jersey. Only 72 days after she left, Bly was greeted in New York with fireworks. She'd set a world record, and her journey had made her an international star. So as you can see here, Bly set a world record and became an international star. And this is a picture of her rickshaw, that boat that was mentioned here, the sampan, as well as another boat that she travelled on, and different hitchhiking techniques. This is obviously an illustration of the kind of clothes she wore at the time and her little bag. What an amazing woman, and what an incredible story. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do any extra research, please make sure that you upload that to Class Dojo, and obviously please see if you can, because she's such an incredible woman. Have a lovely day and look forward to seeing your work on Class Dojo. Bye!